If you've ever cleaned your engine thinking you're helping it last longer, stop right now. Because what I'm about to show you will shock most car owners. There are 5 engine parts you should never ever clean, even if they look filthy. Touch them, spray them, or wipe them wrong, and you could cause instant damage, trigger the check engine light, or even kill your engine in seconds. Here's the scary part. Even professional detailers and car washes make this mistake every single day, and it's costing drivers thousands of dollars in ruined sensors, misfires, and shorted electronics. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which parts to avoid, why cleaning them can destroy your car, and how to safely keep your engine bay spotless without risking a $4,000 repair. And stick around for the last part, because the final forbidden part is the one most people spray first. Why cleaning your engine can backfire. There's a myth floating around car care circles. Keeping your engine clean makes it last longer. That's only half true. Yes, a dirty engine bay traps heat and hides leaks, but cleaning the wrong parts with the wrong method is worse than leaving it dirty. Modern engines are packed with electronic sensors, plastic housings, and rubber seals, all vulnerable to water, chemicals, and static discharge. One wrong spray or wipe can short-circuit your ignition coils, mess up your air-fuel ratio, or corrode aluminum components that are impossible to repair. So before you grab that pressure washer or degreaser, listen carefully. Because these 5 components are off limits unless you want an expensive lesson in DIY gone wrong. Part number 1, the mass airflow MAF sensor. This tiny sensor sits right between your air filter box and intake manifold, and it's one of the most delicate parts in your entire engine. Its job, to measure the exact amount of air entering your engine, so your ECU can mix the perfect amount of fuel for combustion. But inside that small housing are ultra-thin platinum wires, thinner than a human hair, that heat up to read air density and temperature. If you spray generic cleaner, water, or even compressed air near it, those wires can snap or corrode instantly. And when that happens, your car won't just lose power. It'll start stalling, misfiring, and guzzling fuel like crazy. According to Bosch Automotive Research, MAF sensor contamination is one of the top 3 causes of check engine lights in cars under 10 years old. The safe way: never spray anything directly on or near the MAF. If cleaning is absolutely necessary, use MAF-specific cleaner only and let it air dry completely before reinstalling. Never touch the sensor element with your fingers or cloth. If it looks dusty, leave it alone. Replacing a MAF sensor costs $200 to $600, no preaptors, and most of the time, cleaning it is what breaks it. Part number 2, the alternator. Many drivers proudly spray their entire engine bay with water or degreaser, but when that mist hits the alternator, it's game over. The alternator isn't sealed like most people think. Inside are open copper windings, brushes, and diodes that can short out when wet. Even a light mist of cleaner can leave behind conductive residue that causes voltage spikes. Here's what usually happens. You clean your engine. It looks spotless. A day later, your battery light flickers, your radio resets, and your headlights dim. That's the alternator slowly dying from moisture corrosion. A 2022 Delphi Systems study found that over 40% of premature alternator failures come from environmental exposure, mostly water and chemical residue. The safe way: cover your alternator with a plastic bag before cleaning your engine bay. Never spray directly near it, even with low pressure. If it gets dusty, wipe it gently with a dry microfiber towel. Replacing an alternator can cost up to $800, and no cleaner on earth will fix one that's shorted. Part number 3, coil packs and spark plug wells. Here's where so many DIY detailers destroy their engines without realizing it. Coil packs sit right above your spark plugs, and modern engines often have them exposed on top of the valve cover. When you spray water or degreaser, even the smallest bit can seep into the spark plug wells. That moisture causes arcing, an electrical short that jumps from the coil to the metal head instead of the spark plug. The result? Rough idle. Misfire codes: P0300 to P0306. Weak acceleration. And in some cases, a total stall. Even after drying, that moisture can corrode the plug's threads or the coil connector, leading to permanent failure. The safe way: never spray directly on coil packs. If you must clean, use a damp microfiber cloth, not a spray bottle. After washing your engine bay, start the car and let it idle for 10 minutes to evaporate any trapped moisture. And here's a pro tip from Toyota Master Techs. Apply a tiny dab of dielectric grease inside the coil connector. It seals out moisture and prevents future corrosion. Part number 4, throttle body, without proper tools. Many car owners think cleaning the throttle body is routine maintenance, but if done wrong, it can throw your entire engine idle system into chaos. That circular butterfly valve is connected to an electronic throttle control motor. If you force it open by hand or spray harsh cleaners while the ignition's on, you can strip the gear mechanism or cause carbon to jam the motor. Once that happens, the ECU can't calibrate idle airflow anymore, and your car may start revving uncontrollably or stalling at stoplights. A General Motors Service Bulletin, PIP 5327, even warns against manual cleaning of electronic throttle bodies without resetting the throttle position sensor afterward. The right way. Use throttle body safe cleaner only, with the ignition completely off. Gently wipe the edges of the butterfly with a microfiber cloth. Never wedge it open with tools. If your car idles weird after cleaning, you'll need a relearn procedure using a scan tool. If you're not comfortable doing that, don't touch it. A dirty throttle body won't kill your car, but a broken one definitely will. Part number 5, the engine bay itself, without preparation. Here's the truth no one tells you. It's not just specific components. It's the entire engine bay that can be ruined if you clean it the wrong way. Pop your hood, and you'll see hundreds of connectors, vacuum lines, and plastic housings, all exposed. Spraying water or degreaser without covering sensitive parts first is like giving your car a power wash while the electronics are still plugged in. Here's what happens when people do that. Moisture seeps into ECU connectors and fuse boxes. Aluminum parts oxidize and turn chalky. Belt pulleys squeal because the cleaner removed their lubricating coating. And the worst, micro cracks form in old rubber hoses when hit with cold water on a hot engine. The result? A clean-looking engine that slowly dies over the next few months from invisible electrical corrosion and vacuum leaks you can't see until it's too late. The correct way to clean your engine bay. 1. Make sure the engine is completely cool. Cleaning a hot engine causes metal to contract and crack when hit with cold water. 2. Cover the alternator, battery terminals, ECU connectors, and fuse boxes with plastic wrap or bags. 3. Use a damp microfiber, not a hose. Focus only on plastic covers, reservoir lids, and large surfaces. 4. Use a dedicated engine detailer or diluted degreaser. Spray it on your towel, not directly on the engine. 5. Dry everything immediately with a blower or microfiber to avoid moisture sitting in crevices. Remember, engines are designed to run hot and dirty, not to be pressure washed like a patio. Part number 6. The oxygen, O2, sensors, the silent victims. Your O2 sensors live in the exhaust system, but the wiring that connects to them often runs right through the upper engine bay. When you spray cleaners or degreasers, they can seep into those connectors, damaging the voltage signal that tells your ECU how much fuel to burn. Even a small amount of residue can throw off readings and cause poor fuel economy, black smoke, check engine lights, catalytic converter overload. According to Denso, the world's leading sensor manufacturer, more than 60% of O2 sensor replacements are due to contamination, not wear. Protect them by avoiding any spray or steam near wiring harnesses, inspecting O2 sensor connectors yearly for cracks or corrosion, using dielectric grease on connections to repel moisture. It takes seconds to prevent a $400 mistake. Bonus tip: never clean the underside of the hood without protection. Most people forget this one. That shiny underside of your hood often has heat insulation foam or a sound deadening pad. Spray it with water or degreaser, and it acts like a sponge, trapping moisture that slowly drips back down onto your engine for days. That moisture corrodes aluminum, rusts brackets, and creates the perfect breeding ground for mildew and electrical corrosion. Pro tip from detailing experts: if it looks dusty, use a vacuum or dry microfiber only. Never saturate hood insulation. If you must clean it, use steam or foam cleaner, then pat dry immediately. That one simple habit prevents the mystery moisture that ruins connectors long after you've finished cleaning.